Have you ever been sitting at home doing your thing when all of a sudden the power cut out? Or perhaps you live in an area where power outages are not uncommon. If so, you may have considered buying a battery system for your home. Hello, I'm Sinue with DroneQuote, and in today's video, I will be reviewing the EcoFlow Delta Pro portable battery system. If you want to have some level of electricity backup for your home, there are now multiple options on the market. The go-to for many people that think of batteries are usually installed systems like the Powerwall or N-phase batteries. Some electric vehicles can also power your home from the car's massive battery when the right equipment is installed in your garage. And then there are portable batteries. I went with the Delta Pro battery by EcoFlow. This battery will set you back $3,600 and packs 3.6 kilowatt hours, though you can buy additional batteries to increase your overall capacity. If you're considering buying this battery, here's the first thing you should take away from my review. This bad boy weighs 100 pounds. It does have wheels and a pull-out handle, so you don't have to carry it, but it's still heavy. The second takeaway, do a dry run with it. In preparation for this review, I realized I didn't have enough cords, so I had to buy additional cords, and unlike integrated backup systems, a portable battery will always require pesky cables. Before I get into the actual test use of the battery, let me show you the battery interface. It has 4 20 amp outlets and 1 30 amp outlet on the front, including 4 USB and 2 USB-C ports. In the back, there are inputs for power, be it from outlets or from solar panels. Now's a good time to tell you that if you have this battery without solar panels, as I do, you cannot expect this battery to be a solution if you have an extended power outage. I also purchased this kilowatt hour meter to know how much juice I will get out of the battery versus how much juice the battery claims to have. I plugged the meter into the battery and then plugged the extension cords into the meter with a 3-way plug. When it came time to think about what I wanted to back up, I had to consider the battery capacity and the fact that I do not have solar panels. So the lighter the load, the better. I decided to back up our kitchen refrigerator, a basement freezer, the living room TV, and the internet. I started by placing the battery in a centralized location where the cords would easily reach stuff upstairs without me lugging this heavy beast. I'm also not backing up anything that uses electricity to heat, because doing so uses a lot of power and that would drain the battery quickly. This battery usually lives in my basement and stays plugged in, so in the event of an outage, I have it ready at full charge, as you can see here when I started my test. 1 hour into the test, the battery had lost 5% of its capacity, or 180 watt hours. By my math, I predicted the battery should last 15 hours, although I purposely did not plug in additional lights, so if the power had gone out for real, we'd be using flashlights to preserve the battery life. As the battery powered a tiny bit of my house, I could see what was happening in the app. If my son would open the fridge, I could see the spike in electricity. When everything plugged into the battery turned on simultaneously, the remaining battery life went from 9 hours to 4 hours. And I will admit, it did cause me some kind of anxiety. 6.5 hours into the test, the battery is down to 57%. At 0535, 13 hours after starting the test, I woke up to let the dog out and noticed the battery level was at 34%. By 0942, the battery was down to 18%. I didn't turn on the TV that Sunday morning because if it were an actual outage, I'd want to conserve whatever battery I had left for refrigeration. At 10:40 a.m., I heard several beeps downstairs, meaning the battery was dead. In my first simulated usage test, the Delta Pro lasted 18 hours. What do you think of the cost-benefit analysis of this battery? I will also add that the user application is nice. You have full control over what's happening with the battery, meaning you can manage what outlets turn on or off. I didn't mention the LCD screen too much earlier because I didn't rely on it during the battery test. And since the battery can connect to your phone via Bluetooth, you don't need the internet to use the application. That was the first time I had used the Delta Pro as intended. While I've had it for over a year, it always just sat there plugged in, ready to be used. But now I have a much better idea of what I can expect and cannot expect from the battery in the event of an outage. Now, let me remind you, the battery starts at $3,600, but fortunately can qualify for a 30% tax credit, so that's nice. The setup for this test was my least favorite part, in that the power cords were running throughout my entire house.
That is one big pile.
For a house like mine, where I would only back up refrigeration, something like this would work well as a temporary solution. If you expect to back up more than just a fridge or two during an outage with a single Delta Pro battery, don't count on more than 18 to 20 hours. And let us not forget to talk about the rated capacity of this battery, or any battery for that matter, versus the usable capacity. As you can see here, this battery has a rated capacity of 3.6 kilowatt hours. However, in this image, the battery only put out 2.6 kilowatt hours at 10%. This battery led me to speculate how nice it must be to have an installed battery with solar. The nice thing about these batteries is that they're modular, so you can add 2 more to complete a 10 kilowatt hour system. And with the smart panel setup, you'd power your home on par with how you would with a traditionally installed battery. Although the smart panel runs another $1,200 and it cost me $800 to install it. If you're in the market for backup power, this isn't a bad solution. I'd like to hear if any of you watching have this battery. Let us know how you've used it. I've seen some people in the EcoFlow communities take it to the next level with comprehensive setups, including multiple batteries and portable solar panels. So that means if you get this battery, there are a lot of resources to understand better how to get the most out of the battery for you. Until next time,
hasta la vista, baby.